Howdy. Today we want to talk a little bit about tithing. Now, yesterday I mentioned that we want to be careful not to just turn all this into another set of rules and expectations that just become a legalistic way of looking at giving to God. But rather, we want to understand why it is that tithing is a thing and how it connects on the whole with the natural rhythms of our life. I'd like to read from Genesis 14. After his return from the defeat of Kedorlaomer and the kings who were with him, the king of Sodom went out to meet him, Abram, at the valley of Shaveh, that is the king's valley. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was priest of God Most High. And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abram by God Most High, possessor of heaven and earth, and blessed be God Most High, who has delivered your enemies into your hand. And Abram gave him a tenth of everything. Now, there might be debate that Moses, when he recorded Genesis, put down a tenth because of the Egyptian understanding of base 10. But the point is that there was a set amount that was given by Abram to Melchizedek. The thing is that there are lots of times in Scripture where we see tenths, percentages that are given for specific purposes. A tenth is given for the high priests to do their temple duties. A tenth is given to the poor. A tenth is given for festivals. Yeah, a tenth of whatever produce, whatever sheep, whatever people had was meant for festivals, for enjoyment. The thing is that when we look at these amounts, it's not just, okay, now give the church some of your money. The question is how do we decide how much we delineate of what we have for different things? The truth is that even when we give a tenth of what we have, that still leaves 90%. That still leaves the vast majority of what we had in the first place. The thing is that we are constantly dividing up how much we have. For example, with our time, every day we allot a third of our day to sleeping because that's natural. We end up spending, 8 hours, generally speaking, working, 4 of it doing actual tasks, 4 of it interacting with other people. We spend 4 hours of our day with our families, 4 hours of our day getting things done that need to be accomplished, different errands. We spend our Saturdays, fortunately, oftentimes we don't always have to be working on the 6th day of the week. We can oftentimes spend it just having fun, doing something that we enjoy. And the 7th day is supposed to be a chance of rest that's dedicated to God. But oftentimes we end up turning it into another day of errands, and we end up forgetting that it was dedicated to God in the first place. But the truth is that we have to decide how much we're going to give of our time, our money, our energy, our resources for each thing that we have in our lives. Not just for ourselves, not just for our loved ones, but for the world around us, for the people who are in need. And with these natural divisions, tenths and the like, it helps us to create certain lines so that we have a good guideline when we don't know how much to give otherwise. So the question is that if these are not the natural guidelines that are in your life, is it because you have better guidelines that work well? Is it because that you haven't known guidelines to have? Or is there some other reason why you might be resisting them?